ledger, turn four as a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Pit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfected. Full throttle kings, we don't slow down. Ripping through the night, owning this town. Cash to the floor, the crowd gets loud. Outlaws racing, we're born unbound. Smoke trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, steal of pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump traps, link shot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump traps, link shot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Slow trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump traps, link shot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump traps, link shot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Engines scream, asphalt burns, the grip's a gamble. Tires squeal, hearts race, this leads to scandal. Full throttle, no brakes, chasing that checkered. Drafted lines tighter than a bank teller's ledger. Turn four as a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Pit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfected. Full throttle kings, we don't slow down. Ripping through the night, owning this town. Cash to the floor, the crowd gets loud. Outlaws racing, we're born unbound. Smoke trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump traps, link shot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump traps, link shot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Slow trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump traps, link shot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump traps, link shot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights.
Woo! Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to set these drivers loose for what will be another absolutely amazing night of racing action as the Johnny Johnson Motorsports 150 here this evening with the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League gets underway. Qualifying right now is happening, so drivers sliding out onto the racetrack looking to lay down their quick times here, trying to set themselves up for a good start here this evening. We do see Matt Hayden. He's jumping up there. He's looking for a big run in that number 5 ride. We take a look at Jackson Connell in the 39, who will now slide into the number 1 position. Haas Beverly back at about the 11th spot here. K-Dub Kevin Winker jumps up inside the top 10 in that Mule Burger Custom Homes Winker Nation ride. Here comes Jesse Galloway down across the line. The 4 machine, the Scrub Daddy machine, jumps into that 13th spot as Michael Yanks right there behind him. Clinton Woodby looking for a big run here in this winning bid. Number 92 machine, as he'll be looking for a big run right here. We do see Keith Prince jump up into 11th, but right now it is Jackson Connell. Connell with the quick time so far here this evening in the qualifying session as Woodby jumps up into position number 10. That pushes Winker back into 11th. Here comes Roberto Ramirez. It looks like Ramirez and Joe Yakes, the only 2 drivers yet to qualify here today. As here comes that VMware machine, the Intel ride, going to roll out onto the racetrack, hoping to find some extra speed out there. We did see Clinton Woodby. He ends up jumping into position number 6. Keith Prince actually jumps up into 2nd. Great lap there for that 3 machine. Great lap there for him as Roberto Ramirez looks like he's going to get his qualifying underway. Here's that Toyota Supra. Gets steamrolling down the front straightaway into corner number 1. Nice and easy. Going to try to hug that inside lane. Looking for a big run, a strong run out at corner number 2 and down the back straightaway. Drives it deep down low and into corner number 3. Actually pushes up a little bit there towards the outside line. That may be the quick way around here as he travels from the outside down to the bottom side. It's another good run down and off of corner number 4. It looks like he'll jump up into about the 12th position there on that first lap. We'll see if he can find any extra speed here. If he can find a little extra more, but that slide right there may have killed any chances of trying to find that extra little bit of momentum here in this second lap of qualifying. We'll see if he does find anything. I feel like that slide is going to hurt him and cost him any chance of trying to move forward there. He does actually find a little bit, not a lot, but a couple hundredths of a second, and it actually slides him from that 12th position up into 11th there, just past Philip Toscano. So good lap right there for the 43, even with that slide. If he didn't have that slide, he was looking bound to potentially move up a couple tenths and maybe even jump inside our top 5 here today, as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go to battle here as qualifying coming to an end, and that means our main feature event, it's coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys came here for a show. Well, here you go as we get ready to set these drivers loose. The Johnny Johnson 150 here from Dover Motor Speedway here today. 150 laps of racing action. Now, these drivers, they're going to have to worry a little bit about fuel. They're going to have to worry a little bit about tires. Now, there is a competition caution, our first and only stage break around lap number 40. So the completion of lap 40, we will see that caution flag come out for the stage end, and that will get everyone an opportunity to potentially come down pit road. Now, they do run about 75% here on fuel, so running a little bit less fuel than everybody else. So that's going to make things a little bit more interesting here. Obviously, having to run some different fuel mileage strategies, some different tire strategies here, but I think for the most part, if everyone can kind of make it somewhere around that 40 lap area to start this race, they should probably be able to make it another 45 laps or so, that they could probably run this in 2 pit stops here this evening. One at the stage break, another pit stop, roughly around lap number 95, lap 100, somewhere in there. If they can make it that far on fuel, make their way down pit side, get another pit stop in, and then make it to the end of this race, where we can see these guys go clean and green. No caution flags here throughout the evening, but this can be a very, very tricky track. It is the Monster Mile for a reason, as Kevin Winker says. Monster Mile, nice little concrete track. Yes, sir, it is a beautiful, beautiful concrete track. And for all these drivers, they'll be looking to conquer the concrete here today in the Johnny Johnson 150 here at the Full Throttle Outlaws, as they all get lined up, ready to rumble, ready to rock and roll. Starting on the pole is that number 39 ride. Jackson Connell will lead us to the green flag here this evening. To the outside is that 3 machine of Keith Prince. Starting in position number 3 in the number 5 ride, that is Matt Hayden. To his outside in the 54, the QH Designs machine, it's David Traylor Jr. Starting in position number 5 in the Brett's Electric 78 machine, that is Ryan Rose. To his outside, the winning bid 92 of Clinton Woodby. Starting in position number 7 in the 6 machine, that is the Sinclair Dyno Care ride, that is Rusty Modesty. To his outside in the 24 is William George. Then we see Evan Schilling, Colton Hardy, Philip Toscano, Roberto Ramirez, Jesse Calloway, Kevin Winker, Michael Yakes, Joe Yakes, Haas Beverly, and Gregory Wood Sr. rounding out our top 18. As here we go, gonna get ready to end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here at Dover Motor Speedway. As the 39 of Jackson Connell, a great restart right there. That was one thing we were a little bit reluctant on. We've seen it time and time again here on our opening laps here at Dover, where drivers can run into a lot of tire spin, have issues before we even get back to that start-finish line. We've seen it in numerous different series, numerous different times here, where drivers just trying to get rolling, just trying to get their tires moving here, trying to find that little bit of a rhythm, and before they even hit the green flag, we've seen that yellow flag come right back out. So good first lap here by all these drivers, and this one could go by in a quick hurry. It takes roughly about 30 seconds to complete a lap, so really it takes about a minute to complete 2 laps here around the Monster Mile. So about a minute every 2 laps. That's not a lot of time here for these drivers to figure out where they need to be, where they need to go to try to work themselves up and into victory lane after, suppose, 60 minutes. That would be about 120 laps, so we're looking at probably about an hour and 15 or so, somewhere around there, an hour and 15 minutes if we see it stay clean and green. So it could go by rather quickly here this evening. The thing that could slow the race down is an abundance of yellow flags. Now with that one stage break, we know that there's going to be at least 1 yellow flag in this race, which could really open up the door for some different strategy by a lot of these drivers. Actually, laps are a lot quicker. It's actually about 23 seconds. That opening lap was about 30 seconds. It's about 23, 24 seconds to get around this speedway, so it's actually even quicker than that. This could be an hour-long race with only 1 caution flag in it, so we could be clicking them off in a quick hurry here this evening as Jackson Connell out in front. He's headed down through 3, nice and easy, out of corner number 4, just going to continue to hit his marks here in that 39 ride, not trying to worry too much about what's behind him as of right now, knowing that they're really racing to that stage break, knowing that there's some extra points on the line, some extra bonus points there as well, and potentially just a little bit of a confidence builder, trying to keep yourself out in front for the first 40 laps of the race, or trying to jump up here, make some moves, show that you got a good car and a fast car that you can battle for the race win here this evening. As of right now, we're already 6 laps completed in this feature event. 6 laps down as Jackson Connell leads all 6 laps to start this race. But he's got Keith Prince hanging right there with him. Prince really has not left his back bumper. Matt Hayden joins that fight here at the front of the field, and we do see William George there in that beautiful number 24 back in position number 2 here. Now this is a new car out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can get another look at this thing here. So the Great Lakes, not sure what else this says here. The Great Lakes something. Let's see if we can get another look, another angle at this car. See if we can get a little bit of a look here at the sponsors on this thing. So the G25. Okay, that doesn't really give us too much help here. Let's see if we can get another angle at it here. Maybe we can get a little camera change or something here to... Nope, that's not going to do it. Let's see if we can get another A little button here. There we go. Okay, so the Great Lakes Sim. Number 24 ride. Okay, so the Great Lakes Sim, number 24, out there on the Speedway. Looking very, very nice, man. This is a beautiful looking race car out there on the Speedway. And, oh, man, this is a great shot right there. Really gives you a good look at really what these guys are dealing with, how close they can get together here. As, man, this is... Ooh, baby, look at that shot. That's a beautiful shot right there of this Great Lakes Sim machine as he rolls in position number 4. Down through corner number 3, nice and easy, down and out of corner number 4. Man, I wish I could figure out how to lock camera angles. If we could create our own camera angles inside of iRacing, man, we could make this absolutely amazing to see some really, really cool shots, some really, really cool angles of these cars, and getting good looks at their sponsors as well as he continues to keep on rolling here in that 4th position, looking fresh out there on the racetrack as Jackson Connell, though, continue to lead the way. That's struggling. Let's talk the Save 22 dump vent machine. It rolls here at the front of the field as Connell continues to show these drivers the way around the 3 machine. Keith Prince sticking right there on his back bumper. Matt Hayden back there in 3rd. There's William George in 4th. And then we see David Traylor rolling in position at number 5. Ryan Rose in 6 as Philip Toscano early on moving up 5 positions here for that 20 ride. The Mobile 1 machine now into 7th here, started back in position number 12. He's got Clinton Woodby right there behind him. Colton Hardy, who started in 9th. The QH Designs winning bid machine now into the 9th position with Kevin Winker. Winker up 3 spots here early on as the Muleburger Custom Homes Sonographic Designs, the Winker Nation ride, rolls there in that 10th spot on the Speedway. Evan Schilling back there in 11th. Jesse Calloway, the Scrub Daddy Machine, rolls there in 12th with Roberto Ramirez back in 13th. Joe Yanks there in 14th, and then we see Haas Beverly, Gregory Wood Sr., Michael Yanks there in 17th, and unfortunately looks like Rusty Modesty may have lost connection to the server here. 6th ride is down and out of this race as of right now, and that's a heartbreaker for Rusty Modesty. Must have lost connection here as there's no incident, no problems out there on the racetrack, and it doesn't even show him joining the pits here at all. So I don't know what may have happened to that 6th machine of Rusty Modesty. Looks like potentially an internet connection failure there for him, and he is no longer out there on the Speedway. Scored back in our 18th position as of right now. The 39 ride, though, after 15 laps of good hard racing, continues to have that race lead, but man, it is a dogfight back here behind him. It almost seemed like he was holding up everybody else. Keith Prince stuck right there with them, but now we can start to see more and more drivers reeling them in, starting to put the pressure onto our top 3 here this evening as Keith Prince holds on to that 2nd spot. David Traylor making his way up and into 3rd here, making his way around Matt Hayden and William George. As now here comes Ryan Rose, here comes Philip Toscano, Clinton Woodby right there ready to pounce as well in that 92 ride. So our top 8 kind of all right there together, separated by 1.6 seconds out there on the racetrack. To put in comparison, that is 2/10 shorter than the distance between our 8th place driver and our 9th place driver, as that is a tough break for them, as we do see Keith Prince now running into issues here. Looks like Keith is now disappeared from the server as well, so the number 3 machine has now disappeared off of the racing surface. Potentially another driver running into some connection issues out there on the racetrack. Oh, there he is. He's back. He disappeared there for about a lap. Man, that was crazy. He was gone for quite a little while right there. Finally pops back up onto the screen. Here he is rolling there in position at number 2. Now, that's a lucky break for the 3 ride. That iRacing did not remove him for Rusty Modesty. Not as lucky as he still hasn't been able to join this race. His 19 laps completed here this evening. We're about 21 laps away from seeing our first caution flag of the day, seeing that first yellow flag fly for our stage break. And now for a lot of these drivers to jump up here and try to earn some stage points is going to be a big, big thing here this evening, as John Arita says Winker Nation, as tower operator also with the Winker Nation in the chat. Stony Sumo, Stonist. Hopefully I'm getting that right. Stonist Sumo 040 says that's not how you pronounce Phil's last name, by the way. How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce it? Stonist. That I haven't been able to ask him himself on how he pronounces it. If it's Tuscano, Tuscano, Tuscano. Okay, so it's kind of Tuscano. Close. Very, very close. Very close. For no one that's ever heard that last name before, I'm pretty proud with how close that was. So, Tuscano. Number one in the chat if it's Tuscano right now. So that way we know it's Tuscano. All right, as Jackson Connell continue to lead this race here, starting to actually open up a little bit of a gap here between himself and now our second place driver, that 54 of David Traylor. As Traylor rolls in that second position, he's got Matt Hayden back there behind him. Keith Prince, unfortunately, slides back into position number 4. He'll continue to look for more. As Ryan Rose there in position number 5 here on the Speedways. Phillip there in position number 6. Phillip rolls there in that 6th position. William George back there in position number 7. Clinton Woodby back in 8th with Evan Schilling there in 9th, and Colton Hardy rounding out our top 10. Roberto Ramirez there in 11th with Winker Nation there in position number 12, trying to get himself rolling once again here back towards the top 10, but now he's got a mirror of that 87 of Joe Yanks. Yanks right there looking down to his inside. Here comes Yanks looking to gain another spot, now up 6 positions here on the Speedway, and for that 87 continues his march towards the top 10. K-Dub now slides back to 13th. Here is Jesse Calloway, the scrub daddy, right there behind him in position number 14. And that 4 run going to continue to look for more out there on the Speedway. Hans Beverly in the 22, rolling there in position number 15. Gregory Wood Sr. in the 13 ride back in 17th. And Michael Yanks in the 93, that Miller Genuine Draft ride. He is currently sitting in 17th here. Unfortunately for us, Modesty still has not rejoined this race. He brings up the rear of the field, but for Michael Yanks, he's going to be very, very cautious here. There is still a few laps left to go here in this first stage. As down across the line, Jackson Connell will finish lap 27, meaning 13 laps left to go here in this one. As Stoney says, you had it right the first time, but in Tuscano. I'll figure it out. Ben, if he hasn't pronounced it correctly by now, he's not going to. Yeah, that's probably true, Cooper. That's probably true. It's kind of, whatever I've been saying is kind of like programmed into my mind now. It's kind of in there. We'll get it figured out, though. If we get a chance, we'll pull him up here into the booth, see if he can break it down for us, so that way we can, maybe if we hear it, then I can get it a little easier, you know. As Jackson Connell out in front, down across the line, lap 29, 11 laps left to go here in round 1, here in our first stage of the day, as David Traylor trying to reel him in, trying not to trail here in this round, but you gotta look forward here at Michael Yanks. Yanks is in a very, very interesting position here. He's gonna hang on for at least the next 10 laps, trying to hopefully keep himself on the lead lap, and with our race leaders less than a straightaway from his back bumper, it's gonna be no easy task to keep Jackson and the rest of these guys back there at bay, as Jackson continues to keep on rolling out in front. David Traylor back there in position number 2. Matt Hayden, Keith Prince, and Ryan Rose are top 5. Phillip rolls there in position number 6 with Clinton Woodby. William George unfortunately falling backwards here. We did see George making moves and racing his way up inside the top 4, top 3 there early in this run, but now starting to fall back, starting to slide here quite a bit. Now back into his starting position in that 8th spot, has that number 18, trying to figure out a way to get around him right there. Hang on to it. It's Evan Schilling. Almost goes around right there. Good sink from the 18 as he's able to catch it. Keep that thing pointed in the right direction to keep on rolling. It's Roberto Ramirez rolls there in position number 10. Tuscano. Have I not been saying that the whole time? Tuscano? Have I been saying Tuscano? Tuscano. Is that it? Tuscano? I feel like that's it. I don't know. I feel like it's been. I feel like I've been kind of back and forth on either Tuscano or Tuscano. Tuscano. As Jackson Connell continues to lead this race, here we go. There's that 93 right there in front of him. This is going to be a tough break for Michael Yates, as he's going to have to try to keep himself on the lead lap. Now, lucky break is that he's got about 5 seconds between himself and Gregory Wood Sr. If Gregory can keep himself on the lead lap here this evening, it could give the lucky dunk here at the end of the stage to this 93 ride, but he is not too far away from our race leaders either, but they are clicking down the laps in a quick hurry here this evening as Tuscano. And they're in position number 5 now. Philip Tuscano now into position number 5 as Tuscano. They're in position number 5 now on the Speedway. Jackson Connell, though, out in front. He has been that reflection of perfection. Qualified in that pole position, has not given up the race lead here in our first stage of the day, and he does not want to give it up here, knowing that there's some stage points on the line, some extra bonus points towards the playoffs that he can put into his back pocket that he can use to try and work himself into our championship here later in the season. As nice and easy down through corner 1 and 2, now they start to really reel in that number 13 machine. Gregory Wood Sr. is seeing these race leaders hunt him down in a quick hurry, and if you're Michael Yates, you do not want to see that 13 ride go a lap down. He knows right now if Gregory Wood Sr. does not lose a lap and we end this stage, that he could get the lucky dunk. He could get back onto the lead lap, but if that 13 ride does go a lap down, it will potentially trap him back here a lap down, and unfortunately doesn't look like we're gonna run out of time, as there we go. The 39 ride down in around the 13. Unfortunately for Gregory Wood Sr., he falls a lap back here this evening, so now in a very tough spot for Michael Yates here today, is out in front with only a couple laps left to go here in our first stage. David Traylor, Matt Hayden, they have started to really separate themselves here from the rest of the field. Phillip back there in position number 4, starting to charge his way up towards the top 3, but unfortunately with only 1 lap left to go here in this stage, he is a 2.5 back of our 3rd place driver, Matt Hayden. So he's gonna run out of time here for his drive towards the front before the end of this stage is down the back straightaway for the final time here in our first stage. The 39 run of Jackson Connell down through 3, nice and easy out of corner number 4. It's Jackson Connell who picks up stage win number 1 here this evening. So Jackson Connell, David Traylor Jr., Matt Hayden, Philip Tuscano, they're in position number 4. Keith Prince in position number 5. Ryan Rose back in 6. Clinton Woodby, William George, Roberto Ramirez, and Evan Schilling rounding out our top 10 here this evening. So our top 10, they're in stage number 1 as we'll get all these drivers ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here in just a little bit, as we're going to probably see potential pit stops here. Do we see any takers? 40 laps of a run. We saw the tire fall off, starting to come into effect. Drivers were definitely starting to feel, the tire wear out there on the concrete. So I'm assuming we're going to see everyone come down pit road right here. And this is really going to bring into that question mark of, can they make it? 45 laps. I have a sneaky suspicion that they're going to be able to make it that far without a problem. So really, we're going to see these guys having to make probably one more pit stop here this evening, as Diane Galloway says, hang in there. Galloway cheering on Jesse here this evening. Jesse with a solid run there in that 4 ride is the scrub daddy number 4, back in about the 13th position here. He's been looking pretty solid here throughout this race, but now all these drivers going to head down pit road, looking to trying to get their first pit stop in here, hoping that they can hit it right, not wanting to make a mistake. You don't want to slide through your pit stall. You don't want to spin the tires too much. You want to make sure that you can make a good, solid pit stop here. Get down and out of your pit box in a quick hurry, and hopefully try to either gain some positions or at least hold where you were on the racetrack before, the yellow flag came out. So here we go. We do see Jackson Connell going to beat everyone off of pit road. Trailer, Hayden, Toscano there in position number 4. Keith Prince in position number 5. Clinton Woodby, Roberto Ramirez, Ryan Rose, William George, and Evan Schilling going to round out our top 10 as they roll back out onto the racetrack. I did see Colton Hardy slide back a little bit there. We saw Jesse Calloway gain a couple positions. Roberto Ramirez and Clinton Woodby both gained a couple spots as well. So that's going to set us up here for potentially a long green flag run here to finish off this race. There is still a lot of laps left to go, but we're getting down towards, that 3/4 of the way through this race, so we're getting down to it here in a quick hurry. Is Evan Monaghan, what's good, Evan? Evan coming in with that like on the stream. Nolan Morales coming in with that follow over there on Facebook. Nolan, welcome to the Peacemaker family here this evening. Eric Carty coming in with that heart reaction. It says, here for the 97, baby. Here to watch Colton Hardy out there on the Speedway. Ready to duke it out here in this one as we'll get all these drivers ready to rumble. Once again, we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Oh man, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a lot of fun to see kind of what the strategy is going to be here. Do we see one of these drivers potentially try to split this final run up, maybe make 2 pit stops? I just don't see that happening because it is such a dangerous thing to do. To come down pit road on an off-cycle pit strategy can really set you back. You pretty much lose 2 laps here on the Speedway, even if you're up towards the top 5, top 10 out there on the racetrack. More than likely after 20, 30 laps of green flag racing, you come down pit side kind of by your lonesome. You're going to go a couple laps down, and you really got to bank on seeing everyone else come back down pit side before the end of this race, and that you gotta use those fresh tires enough to be able to gain quite a bit of track position to move forward and give yourself that extra time to be able to come back down pit road, throw more tires on, make that additional pit stop, and just have a lucky break where you don't see any caution flags. You see these guys slipping and sliding out there on the Speedway as we are back to battle. We are back to the green flag action here. So a quick caution flag for the end of stage number 1, and we are right back into the battle here today. Jackson Connell out in front, Hayden right there in second. David Traylor falls back into third here, but for right now, a lot of these drivers, they've got to really be taking what they learned there in the first 40 laps of this race into perspective. We saw, obviously, Hayden. We saw the 54 David Traylor. We saw that 39 right of Jackson Connell really be able to stay up inside the top 3, top 5 there for pretty much that entire first run of the day. So they were able to stay up here inside the top 3 throughout those 40 laps, but they gotta wonder if there was another 20 laps, how were their tires faring up here compared to some of these guys back behind them? And for some of those drivers back there a little deeper, when you look at Clinton Woodby, when you look at Keith Prince, Ryan Rose, maybe you don't try to save tires as long as what you may have been there in that first stage. Maybe get onto the front a little bit sooner, try to hunt these guys down a little bit quicker, as it really seemed like they had potentially better tires. Same with Phillip there in that 20 ride. Had better tires, just they didn't have enough time to work themselves through that traffic. So maybe use that game plan, save a little bit, try to take it easy here throughout the first 10, 15, maybe 20 laps of the run, and then put that hammer down. Then start to work yourself through there, because we're probably going to see a lot of these drivers come back down pit side somewhere around lap number, I'm going to say around lap 95 to around lap number, I'm going to say lap 100. If they can make it that 55 lap area, I feel like that's really where we're going to see drivers try to get to, knowing that they kind of split up this final stage, that they can make it to the end of the race on fuel. So I think that's really what they're going to be looking for, is to hit that fuel window, especially if there is no caution flags, where they can head down pit road during the green flag conditions, get their final pit stop in, and then get rolling back in on the Speedway. But as we talked about, these green flag pit stops are very, very treacherous, and obviously tire wear is going to be a key thing. And already you see Jackson Connell here in this round kind of giving up on a little bit of track position, as Matt Hayden was able to work his way around our race leader for the first time here today. We see another driver at the front of the field here. Jackson Connell led the first 45 laps or better of this race. Did not give up that race lead, but here at the 1/3 of the way through this performance, We do see him slide back into second here. Matt Hayden now out in front. We kind of saw this in that first run as well, where the 39 kind of fell back. It kind of stacked everyone up. We really saw, pretty much our top 8, top 10 kind of get bound back together again, because the 39 was just kind of rolling it, just trying to keep that car nice and easy, not wanting to stress the tires, not wanting to take it too hard, too early here on the day. And it looks like he's trying to do that same thing again. And as he continues to keep on rolling a little bit farther back here, just kind of keeping the tires underneath of him, it's allowing Matt Hayden to really open up a very solid lead here this evening, as Hayden now out to about a 2.3 second gap, and he's looking at, maybe he's burning up his tires, maybe it's not going to affect him as much as, some of these other drivers are hoping for, and he's just trying to pull away and try to open up a big enough lead that even if they start to hunt him down, that they will not be able to catch him quick enough. As now here we go, David Traylor making the move around the 39 ride. So Traylor jumps up into position number 2. Jackson Connell slides back to third here. So even though Connell is saving tires, he's trying to work on this car and hope that he kind of keeps these tires underneath of him for the long green flag run that we could potentially see here. He's really trying to open up a bit of a big question mark area here on whether or not they can make it on field to get to that 100-lap area, 95-lap area. I feel like they really can. They had no problem making it there 41, 42 laps before they came down pit side during our stage break. So I feel like they can probably make that extra 2-3 laps and really kind of make this into a one-stop race here to finish off this race. That's really the big question mark. And for green flag pit stops, you really only want to make one trip down pit road, especially if you can make it on fuel here on one stop. You don't want to come down too early, have to put yourself into a position to make another late race pit stop here, where that could put you late in the race a couple laps down or even a lap down, where you may not have enough time to use the fresh tires to your advantage to drive your way back up towards the front. As we do see Clinton Woodby now around the 39 ride as well. So Jackson Connell continues to fall backwards here after leading the first 46, 47 laps of this race for that 39 ride, going the wrong direction right now. The more and more cars that keep passing him, or the more and more competitors that he's going to have to try to work his way back around, which could in turn burn up anything that he is saving, trying to battle back around these guys. So that could be a big hiccup from this 39, giving up the track position and now having to maybe burn up everything that he's saving, just trying to work his way back towards the front. Now do we see Keith Prince fill up William George? Do we see these guys try to take advantage of the slower 39 ride right now, or do they kind of play the same strategy game and just kind of keep it in cruise control back behind the 39 ride, knowing that they can try to save those tires at the same pace that the 39 ride is here early on this evening? As Great Lakes Sim Racing Network coming in, showing the love, says, "Let's go, George." Cheering on George in the 24. Says, U.S. Army strong, baby. U.S. Army strong. We love it. As we already looked at that beautiful 24 ride, man. Very, very great looking car. Hooked up here this evening. We saw him early on racing his way up inside the top 4, top 3 there. Looked really, really strong out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately, could not find anything more. Kind of fell back there towards the end of that first stage, and by lap 40, finished that stage off in that 8th position, now rolling in 7th. So we'll see if he's kind of maybe learned from his mistakes there, maybe pushed it too hard, too early, burnt up his equipment a little sooner than he would like to, and now maybe just trying to play it a little bit safer here, trying to save the tires, trying to put himself into a position where later in this race he can make that run up towards the front of the field. As Matt Hayden, though, Hayden continues to lead this race. As Gene Carlos going in with that like on the stream. What's good, Gene? Play for Cheats also coming in with that thumbs up here on the broadcast over there on Facebook. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we get ready to continue to see these guys absolutely duke it out here this evening in that Johnny 120, Johnson 150 here at the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League. As out in front, continue to lead this race. It is that 5 ride of Matt Hayden. Hayden out in front, still has about a 2-second lead between himself and David Traylor. But Traylor is starting to close that gap here, but we're starting to see potentially some lap traffic again rolling right in front of our race leaders. I do believe that is Michael Yakes. Yakes definitely struggling here this evening. He's already a lap down. He's at risk of potentially going 2 laps down here. He is in the free pass position, so if we could see a caution flag fly, he could get that wave around, could get back on the lead lap. Obviously, we saw just before the end of the stage, Gregory Wood Sr. did go a lap down there. He got the lucky dunk. He's back on the lead lap. Unfortunately, stuck back here at about that 16th position. In front of him is the 42 of Kevin Winker. Haas Beverly not too far away there. Same with Colton Hardy back in 13th. And now for these guys, for Schilling, for Colton Hardy, Kevin Winker, we know Winker is always playing some very, very interesting strategies here, to say the least. He really pushes the strategy boundaries in a lot of these races. So what's up the sleeve here for the 42? What's the game plan? What does he try to accomplish here? Is he trying to save tires, or is he trying to save fuel, trying to stretch out a run a little bit longer, hoping to make a final green flag pit stop a lot later than everybody else? Or what is the game plan? Is he just struggling out there on the racetrack right now? We'll have to wait and see. He's definitely moving around quite a bit here on the concrete, trying to figure out maybe a line or what the issue is with this Muehlberger Custom Homes number 42 machine. It's definitely stuck back in that 15th position. Not a fun spot to be in. Out there on the racetrack as Matt Hayden starts to reel in that 93 ride. It gets very, very treacherous right here, trying to deal with the lap traffic. Where do you go? Where do they go? It looks like the 93 will move up to the high side lane. Looks like Matt Hayden able to quickly work himself around him. Nice clean move right there, and luckily enough for the 93, no issues, no mistakes there, and allowing our race leader to get by him. We've seen it in numerous other series and everything else. Lap traffic, even though they were lapped down, they're still running their race. They want to keep themselves on the lead lap, and other than courtesy, man, a lot of them, they do not move out of the way, and we've seen multiple times where lap traffic could play a vital role in these races, whether or not it's getting tied up with a race leader and causing a caution flag with them, or potentially just battling door to door with them, allowing the drivers back behind the race leader to catch up to him and put themselves into the hunt at the front. As Hayden down across the line will complete lap number 69. So our favorite lap is now done here this evening. Our favorite lap is off the board, and we start lap number 70 here today, and we are clicking them off in a quick hurry. It's only been about 31 minutes since we took that green flag here. Already 70 laps complete there across the line, virtually right at that 31-minute marker. So we're inching closer and closer to that halfway point. And this, yeah, we talked about it at the top of the show. This could be a very, very quick race with very minimal yellow flags here at Dover. Only 150 laps. They can click them off in a quick hurry. So you guys better hope that you can consume as much information, as much fun, and as much action as you can here over the short period of time, because these guys are clicking them off and laying them down here in a quick hurry. As out in front, Hayden still with about a 1.6 second lead between himself and David Traylor. Traylor continues to reel him in as Clinton Woodby rolls there in third. Here comes Jackson Connell. This Connell trying to race his way back up here towards the front. Can he find his way back up there? Rolling the outside lane, looking for a big run, trying to get back around that 92 of Clinton Woodby. And this is what we talked about. Now as the 39 ride is seemingly picked up the pace here. It looks like he's really starting to push his way towards the front. How much car does he got to use up? How much tire does he got to burn? Just trying to navigate his way back up here towards the front of the field. He's able to complete that pass there in the 92. So move Connell back up into that third position. Now he'll look to close the gap here on our top two and try to put himself back out in front as green flag pit stops are kind of around the corner here, not too far away. I'm going to say probably about another 20 laps or so from now. We're going to start to see a lot of these drivers head down pit road. Once they kind of get that green light, knowing that they can make it on fuel, that they will not have to make another pit stop here on the evening, at least a green flag pit stop, that is, then they are going to probably head down pit road, make their changes, make their service here, get the fresh tires, get the fuel, and roll back out there onto the racetrack. But there's going to be a few cats that try to play some big strategies out there, and it looks like Kevin Winker, maybe Winker's going to be one of them here if he can kind of just keep on rolling back there in that 15th position, maybe trying to save as much fuel as possible as everyone else heads down pit road. If he can roll for another 5 laps, 10 laps, it should probably trap pretty much everybody a lap down back there behind him, leaving him as the only driver on the lead lap out there on the speedway. And a lot of drivers potentially even 2 laps down, even where he's running could be 2 laps down out there on the racetrack, where if he gets a timely caution flag, could really work in his benefactor, could really put him into a winning strategy here, or at least a much better performance for the 42. So we'll have to wait and see if the luck is on the side of Kevin Winker here this evening, or if things just stay clean and green and kind of blow up this entire game plan that I think the 42 ride is trying to roll. Is down across the line this next time by for that number 5 ride of Matt Hayden. He will complete lap number 77 here this evening, 2 laps past our halfway marker. We only got 73 laps of racing action left to go here this evening. So halfway in and halfway to go here today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So what we want you guys to do right now is crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, some beautiful racing action here this evening as green flag pit stops now underway. As you see the 54, David Trailer, our second place driver, heading down pit road, makes a big mistake that will eat up a ton of time and cause a bunch of damage there for that number 54 machine. Unfortunately, the south in your mouth ride, unfortunately making that damage down into corner or into pit entry there. Unfortunately, now slides back and behind Philip Toscano here this evening, and unfortunately, that will slide it back to probably about that 5th, 6th, even 7th position here. We'll have to wait and see where he kind of gets lined up. Here comes our race leader. Nice and easy down pit road there for the 5 ride of Matt Hayden, as Hayden will look to make his green flag pit stop. Here comes William George. So right around lap number 80, 98, 99, right in that area. We did see Jackson Connell come down a little bit earlier, a little bit sooner there on lap 96. As there's that 42 right of Kevin Winker. K-Dub, we talked about how he's probably going to be on a completely different strategy than everybody else. He's still rolling out there, but we do see Clinton Woodby, Keith Prince, Ryan Rose, Evan Schilling, Joe Yanks, all yet to come down pit side. We do see Haas Beverly that time coming down pit road as well, so we'll have to wait and see when we start to see some more of these drivers head down pit side here this evening. The longer they run, the more time they're going to give up to the fresh tires, obviously running, virtually about a second and a bit slower than those fresh tires out there on the racetrack. But if they can kind of hang on to it, keep on rolling, hopefully that they can burn through their tires a little bit, and then they can try to play catch up here once they make their pit stop, roll back out there onto the racetrack and try their hand at racing back towards the front as Amanda Joy comes in with the hashtag Winker Nation here this evening. Ronnie Stewart says, "What's up, Peacemaker? Sorry about the absence, brother. It is A-okay. We're just glad to see you in the chat here, showing the love whenever you can." As Ronnie says, what we got going on, we got a little bit of NASCAR Xfinity Series racing here this evening, as Uncle Ron showing the love here in this one, man. How are you, Ronnie? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Friday night, as oh man, the weekend is here. As here we go, Clinton Woodby still staying out, not coming down pit road yet. You do see the 3 ride Keith Prince also not coming down pit side. Joe Yake stays out. Here comes Colton Hardy staying out. We do see Evan Schilling making his way down pit side, the 93 ride, who's unfortunately a few laps down there for Michael Yanks. He comes down pit road as well. K-Dub Kevin Winker, he's staying out here as well. So there's a few drivers that are really stretching out the field here, and it's going to be interesting to see kind of what the game plan is. What is the thought process here for a lot of these drivers like Kevin Winker, as he has already given up the advantage of a lap here to Jackson Connell. Connell's already around him. We saw Roberto Ramirez come down pit road a little earlier there. He came down pit side on lap number 93, and we could just tell just by those, 3-4 laps, the advantage that some of these guys were able to get for Jackson Connell is, oh, baby, look out! That's the 97 ride, Colton Hardy, almost going around, almost getting into some of our top 3 competitors right there, trying to get that thing checked up, trying to make his way down pit side, just able to make it there, and luckily enough does not collect anybody, does not cause a big wreck, as we do see Joe Yanks and Colton Hardy also make his way down pit side. So the only 2 drivers get the pit. Here we go. The 3 ride Keith Prince this time by. He'll head down pit road here, completing lap number 106 as well as he comes down pit side for K-Dub Kevin Winker. He's going to stay out even longer. So for the Muhlenberger Custom Homes Winker Nation machine, we saw him kind of rolling off pace over everybody else. Now, if he could catch a lucky break, if he could catch a yellow flag, it could really help him out, as we do see the 3 ride Keith Prince gets a black flag. Too fast entering pit road for the 3 machine, and unfortunately that's either going to be a hold down pit side for him, or that may be a pass through penalty here for the 3 ride. Nonetheless, that is going to be probably night over there for him. That is going to be tough to come back from this late in the race for Kevin Winker. Continuing to roll out there. Jackson Connell is in position number 2, but he's got Roberto Ramirez and Matt Hayden right there on their back bumper now for Ramirez, he's got about 3-lap older tires than Jackson Connell. For Matt Hayden, he's got about 3-lap better tires than Jackson Connell, and he kind of rolls right behind them, and right now kind of just sitting in that dirty air, hasn't been able to make any moves, or maybe just waiting patiently for maybe the drivers in front of them to run out of their equipment here, to burn up their tires a little bit more before he starts making moves, before he starts pushing the subject to try to move himself around Ramirez and Jackson Connell late in this race. For Kevin Winker, just banking on potentially a yellow flag here, and a big strategy call is right now there's only 6 drivers that are still on the lead lap back behind him. That's William George, who currently sits in the lucky dog position. Clinton Woodby sits back in 8th. Ryan Rose sits there in 9th. Jesse Calloway rounding out our top 10 as of right now, as we do see Keith Prince still being held down pit side. That penalty could be night over there for that number 3 machine, as Colton Hardy, he rolls out there. Hardy is still at least a lap down here behind Kevin Winker, and you do see K-Dub now going to see the 24 William George, sees the 92 ride, and the 78 Ryan Rose all get around him, so 3 more drivers work their way back onto the lead lap, and the gap that he has here between first and second is not a lot, but still not coming down pit road. This is a very interesting strategy here for the 42. I'm not sure how it's going to play out for him, as when he comes down pit road, more than likely he's going to fall at least a lap, almost even 2 laps down here between himself and Jackson Connell. So if he waits any longer, it could really affect his day here on the strategy on the back end of it. So he's just really banking on potentially seeing a yellow flag. If he can catch that caution, could really help him out. But as of right now, everyone's just doing a fantastic job. No caution flag for incident here this evening. No contact, no damage, no destruction out there for any of these drivers. It's been nothing but hard green flag racing here this evening. We only saw the 1 caution flag for the stage break on lap number 40. But ever since then, since we went back to green flag racing, it's been non-stop green flag action. And that's exactly what we like to see, man. That's some absolutely amazing racing. We do see Joe Yanks make his way around Jesse Calloway. Calloway slides back into 11th. Yanks right there in front of him. Yanks will now put himself back on the lead lap. Calloway looking to get back on the lead lap as well, as he rolls down low and around the 42 of Kevin Winker. So now there's 11 drivers on the lead lap here. And for Mr. Winker, he's only got about 7 seconds between himself and Jackson Connell. Connell catching him in a quick hurry. We do see Matt Hayden back into second here. Can Hayden make some moves and work his way back in front of that 39 ride to potentially win this race here this evening, as that's really who this could come down to. Biting a caution flag to mix things up here this evening for the 5 ride and the 39. It could really be settled between the 2 of these guys here in this final run to the end. As here we go, Kevin Winker finally comes down pit road here with 35 laps left to go in this race. Gives up the race lead, heads down pit side, and for the Muhlenberger Custom Homes number 42 machine, has to make this slow trip around the Dover Motor Speedway front straightaway here into his pit stall. Gets into his pit stall quickly here. Did not qualify the best, but here he is a little deeper back there, so he'll hit his pit stall. The crew's going to go to work. Now here comes Connell and the rest of our front of the field here. That will move around Winker, and that will put Winker at least 1 lap down. His service just getting completed, so he will roll back out there. As he does roll back out onto the track, he is about a half a second, maybe a little bit more than half a track down here, as here comes our race leaders down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4 for K-Dub. He is just starting to build up that speed, about to leave corner number 2. That is his pit cycle done and over with. Here he is rolling down the back straightaway. Our race leaders just heading out of corner number 2 right there, so he's a full lap and about 3/4 of a track down right now. So I'm not sure if he's going to have good enough tires or a good enough strategy that he'll be able to not only race and catch up to these guys past them to put himself back on the lead lap, but then work his way all the way around the racetrack again to potentially put himself into the winning situation. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get that done, but we'll have to see how this strategy plays out for Kevin Winker here today, as Jackson Connell leads this race. Matt Hayden right there in second. Hayden looking to make some moves as Philip Toscano in position number 3 on the Speedway. David Trailer right there in position number 4 and looking for more, trying to get that QH Designs 54 ride up and into a podium finish here this evening. Roberto Ramirez, one of the drivers that came down pit road quite a bit earlier than everybody else, rolls there in position number 5. Now there's a big gap here between Ramirez and our 6th place driver Clinton Woodby. There's about 5.3 seconds between 5th and 6th on the racetrack, and for Clinton Woodby, he does have about 9-10 lap better tires than a lot of these drivers in front of him, so potentially he could run them down. He could hunt them down here late in this race, maybe pick up a few extra spots here, maybe put himself into a better finishing position. Same with Ryan Rose, Joe Yakes back there, who came down pit side on lap 105 for the 103 for Evan Schilling came down pit side on lap 103. He's now up inside the top 10. Colton Hardy, who was down pit road on lap 105 as well. So some of these guys definitely have some very interesting strategies here. And last time around, the fastest car on the racetrack, the last driver to make their way down pit side here on lap 115, it was Kevin Winker. K-Dub was the fastest car out there on the racetrack by almost a second, man. He's definitely got some good speed with the fresh tires compared to everybody else. It's just going to be interesting to see how much time he's going to be able to regain and make moves and pass drivers, and how much equipment and tire will he burn up just on his hunt towards the front here on the evening, as right now he's got a lot of drivers between himself and even trying to put himself back onto the lead lap. He's virtually got to work his way through our top 9 to get back onto the lead lap here this evening, as this is the hunt at the front, as Matt Hayden, who we saw take over the race lead there at the start of our final stage of the day. After that stage break, he was able to get around the 39 ride, take the race lead, led the next 45 laps or so, 45, 50 laps of this race, and keeping the 39 ride and the 54 David Trailer back there at bay. Came down pit road, but making the earlier pit stop for Jackson Connell. 3 lap older tires. Will that make a huge difference here late in the race? Will that be the difference maker between him going into victory lane or the 5 ride of Matt Hayden being able to make that move to get around him and steal this win from that 39 machine here this evening? We saw Connell qualify in that pole position. He led the first 47, 48 laps of this race after Matt Hayden took over the race lead. Has been virtually just these two out in front leading this race here this evening, and it looks like it may be settled between the pair of them here, as we do see a bit of a gap starting to grow here actually between Hayden and Connell. So is Connell finding a little extra speed here? Does he find an extra bit of a groove late in this run as we inch closer and closer to our checkered flag, as things are clicking down in a quick hurry here? Our laps are quickly fading away. Is down across the line. They will complete lap 127, and we see 23 laps left to go here in this race. So only 23 more laps left to duke it out here this evening. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the 39 ride gets it done? Do you think that Connell picks up the checkered flag here this evening? Or do we see Matt Hayden potentially steal that win away? Do we still see Phillip all the way back from 3rd race his way up there into the top spot? Maybe David Trailer or Clinton Woodby, who's been closing the gap as there's contact back there behind him. Lap traffic played a factor and no caution flag as of yet. There's the yellow. Caution flag on the racetrack, and for all the Phillip Toscano fans in the stands, heavy damage here for that Toyota Supra Mobile 1 machine. Heavy smoke rolling out the back end of Phillip's ride as the 20 machine, and I do believe lap traffic here with Michael Yakes going to get tied together out of corner number 4. We talked about this early on when we first saw this 93 ride go a lap down, and how fast our leaders were catching him and how quickly it could affect a race. And right here, we're going to see the 93 ride, I do believe, get loose on corner exit, or potentially the 20 just shoots up the racetrack. So the 93 is rolling out of the throttle, trying to keep himself out of the fence. I don't think Phillip is expecting him to lose that much speed and momentum. You can see the flames coming out of the 93 ride as he's trying to get this thing checked up, not wanting to run into the wall, as that's 100% where he was headed towards. Unfortunately, Phillip could not get checked up quick enough, runs into the side of him, and that just washes him down. The racetrack, virtually a self-cleaning racetrack here at Dover Motor Speedway, and it just shoots that 20 right down into the inside fence. A big hit there for him. Great break for the number 54, David Trailer, as he was able to avoid any major contact there as well. And for the 20 machine, that is a tough break for him. It does look like he is trying to get that thing down into his pit stall, hoping that he's still got a quick repair in his back pocket. I'm not sure if these guys do have any fast repairs or not. We'll have to wait and see. If there's a quick repair, he may be able to use it and get this thing rolling back out on the racetrack. If not, I do believe that is going to be too much damage to even try to get back out there onto the speedway. See him trying to get it into his pit stall. And it does look like he had a quick repair. So great break there for Phillip, as Crew's going to quickly get him into his secondary car and right back out there onto the racetrack, as that did bring a lot of drivers down pit road except for Colton Hardy. Hardy does not come down pit side right there, and that is a big question mark for the 97 rider Colton Hardy, as I'm not sure what the game plan is there. Obviously gets the track position, puts himself out in front, but will have 25 lap older tires than everyone back there behind him, and making his way out in first here out of pit lane is Matt Hayden. So Hayden will start in position number 2. Jackson Connell will start back in third. David Trailer in position number 4 with Clinton Woodby. Roberto Ramirez, Ryan Rose, William George, they were in 8th. Joe Yakes back in 9th. Evan Schilling there in 10th. Jesse Calloway back in 11th. Philip Toscano there in position number 12. Haas Beverly back in 13th, and obviously Haas and Kevin Winker both getting the waiver rounds, both getting back onto the lead lap here. Obviously going to be older tires for that 42 right of Kevin Winker. So for Winker, he's going to be hoping to see a caution flag here in a quick hurry, or at least in the next 5-10 laps. Potentially seeing another yellow flag could maybe give him an advantage. I don't think anyone else will come back down pit road, but stranger things have happened, especially if they got an extra set of tires back there behind pit wall. They could definitely try to use them to their advantage here even later in this run. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out after our first caution flag for incidents here this evening. As here we go, getting ready for what could be our final restart of the day. As down through the Geico restart zone, the 97 of Colton Hardy sees that green flag fly, quickly gets onto the loud pedal, looking to try to hold off that 39 right of Jackson Connell, and this is exactly what Connell wanted to see. As the 97 washes up the racetrack, here comes the 5 right of Matt Hayden around him. Here comes Clinton Woodby. Here comes David Trailer, and all the fresh tires quickly blowing right up by that 97 machine. Now what he wants to see is these drivers burn up their equipment over the next 5-10 laps, where he can make another additional pit stop, hopefully use it to his advantage to have that extra set of tires back there, and then virtually pull the reverse card on the entire field and work his way up towards the front. So we'll have to wait and see if that plays out for him, if that plays out for Kevin Winker. As of right now, Jackson Connell, who seemed very fast early in this race, we saw the 39 ride lead the first 48, 49 laps of this race before that 5 right of Matt Hayden took it away. Hayden did not get the great restart that he was hoping for on the outside lane there on that restart, and it allows the 39 to shoot down low, take the race lead back away, and for a car that qualified on the pole and looked very fast in the first stage of this race. Here he is leading the way here, trying to keep himself out in front, wanting to put himself up and into victory lane here on the evening. As you do see the 92 rider Clinton Woodby trying to work his way around Matt Hayden. Unfortunately for Hayden here, he's kind of stuck in a tough spot as the 92 washes him off the racetrack there a little bit. They're still door-to-door back here for position number 2. And now we see Hayden up and into the outside fence. Matt Hayden, hard contact into the outside wall. Heavy right side damage for the 5 ride. So heavy contact there for Matt Hayden as Jackson Connell continues to hold on to the race lead. As there goes the 24. William George is around. Caution flag back on the racetrack. Caution flag once again here this evening. Yellow flag will come back out. Let's take a look back at it as George looks like he's going to get tightened together here with the 20 ride. Phillip trying to battle his way back up towards the front of the field. He's working underneath the 24 ride, and for George, unfortunately, here in corner number 1 and 2, 20 ride kind of hits the apron right there. Let's take a look back at it. Watch the 20 ride on corner entry. Let's see if we can get another angle at it here on Phillip's machine, as it does look like he ends up getting a piece of the apron right about there. So let's play it back here, play it in slow motion right there. A little slideways. See the flames coming out as he hits the apron right there. It just straightens out the car, shoots him up the racetrack as the car continues to wash up the track. Unfortunately, comes up, kind of clips that left rear quarter panel of the Great Lakes Sim number 24 machine. That gets him sideways, and then a little contact there for the 20 ride as well. You see the 4 ride doing a great job there, getting checked up, and unfortunately for the 24, not as lucky as he gets washed up into the outside fence. Heavy hit there for him, and I do believe we're going to see Colton Hardy try to work his way through this. I'm not sure if Hardy just locks it down as he tries to avoid him right here. Gets a little sideways himself, gets a little contact with that inside fence, just trying to keep himself out of trouble there. So a little bit of damage for the 97 ride, and for the 97, the 24, for a lot of these drivers, that's going to open up the door here for late race pit stop to really try to mix things up. We do see Matt Hayden work his way back down pit side. William George, Kevin Winker, Colton Hardy, they come back down pit road here on lap 138, and that puts on fresh tires here at least for Kevin Winker, and I'm assuming fresh tires for a few of these other drivers, and that could really mix things up here late in the race. Now, there's not a huge tire difference here, obviously about 4 or 5 laps of green flag racing for pretty much everybody else inside our top 10 here this evening, besides Matt Hayden, who restarts in that 10th position. But maybe those 4 or 5 laps of green flag racing were hard enough on their tires that maybe it gives them that slight edge, that slight advantage here, that he can work his way back up through the traffic, back up towards the front of the field, and back into the battle here today. As John J.G.R. Gannis coming in, showing the love here with that like on the stream, is Nicholas Lindsay. What's good, Slick Nick? Nicholas coming in, showing the love, says Hayden is going to take the lead now. Oh, baby. I think you called that one the wrong way there, Nicholas. They are, I don't know, the 5 ride definitely struggling a little bit there on that restart, but let's see if you can find it here on this restart, as this is going to get very, very interesting, seeing the green flag come back out here. 10 laps left to go in this race. That's virtually a car lap, and the 5 ride's going to have to try to move around to get himself back to the front of the field. I'm not sure if he'll have enough time to gain that kind of position, if he's able to gain that track time to work his way up towards the front here this late in the race, as the Johnny Johnson 150 quickly coming to a close here this evening at Dover Motor Speedway. These drivers head down into corner number 3 and 4. Do you guys think this is the final restart, or do you guys think this we're going to see a few more caution flags here this evening? We're about to find out. We're about to get a fix in here this evening, as here we go. These drivers down through the Geico restart zone. See the green flag fly in. A great restart right there for the 39 run. That's exactly what Jackson Connell needed. Opens up a couple car length lead down through quarter 1 and 2 as David Trailer works his way around the 92 right of Clinton Woodby. Woodby slides back to 3rd and now has to try to hold off Roberto Ramirez. Ramirez trying to take that 3rd spot away from him. Let's take a look here. Matt Hayden up and into 8th here, so he has gained a position. Here comes that 42 right of Kevin Winker right there as well. A little contact as Joe Yakes gets up into the outside fence. Unfortunately, right here, kind of stalled out behind that 4 ride for the 5 machine of Matt Hayden. Jackson Connell continues to hold on to the race lead, but here comes that 54 of David Trailer Jr. David looking to try and take this race lead away, and you can see that 39 starting to drive into the mirror a little bit here. Definitely feeling the pressure, knows that there's a lot of fast cats back here behind him that are looking to try to work their way around him here, and here we go. Big run for the 54 out of corner number 2. Looks down to the inside, but does not take the run. The 39 washed up the racetrack, looking for a big run down the front straightaway, trying to open up that couple car length lead, but scrapes the outside fence. Here we go. David Trailer going to try to line him up. Going to try to tee one off here. Down and out of corner number 2 as he looks for that big run himself. Hoping to take this drive down to the inside of the 39 ride, but can't quite get there as here comes Clinton Woodby. Woodby starting to run his way into this battle, chasing down our top 2 here on the racetrack. And as they continue to battle, there's only about 6 laps left to go. And now we see Hayden gets up into the outside fence again. He bounces it off the front straightaway wall, and unfortunately heavy right front damage gets up there on the apron. Looks like he will tow that car back down pit side. That will end the night for the 5 ride of Matt Hayden, so his chances of racing his way back up through the field are over, as now we see the 87 of Joe Yanks does virtually the same thing as K-Dub Kevin Winker Nation up and into position number 7, looking to continue to keep on driving his way up and through the field here after taking that wave around. Got a chance with that last caution flag to throw fresh tires on, and here he is trying to navigate his way up towards the top 5. Is down at a corner number 4, back down across the line. We see 4 laps left to go, and unfortunately about 4 car lengths now between our race leader Jackson Connell and David Trailer Jr. David, unfortunately running out of time, has to find that extra gear, has to find the run that he's been looking for right here to put himself into the race win here this evening. He does not want to give it up. He's pushing that number 54 ride for everything it's worth here today, trying to close that gap, trying to get back to the rear bumper of Jackson Connell. With only about 2.5 laps left to go, though, it is getting down to the nitty gritty, and we may not see another caution flag, or maybe we do see a late race yellow. We'll have to wait and see how this gets played out. Is down across the line for the 39. It is 2 more laps left to go here in the Johnny Johnson 150 here this evening with the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing Series. Jackson Connell leads us down the back straightaway, 0.2 of a second between himself and David Trailer Jr. Trailer trailing behind here, trying to close that gap, trying to get another shot at stealing this win, as no yellow flag will affect this race any longer as the white flag has been displayed one more time around here for Jackson Connell. Connell takes that white flag and for the final time leaves corner number 2 down the back straightaway, opens up the gap a little bit more between himself and David Trailer Jr. David will not get there, is down and out of corner number 4. It is the 39 of Jackson Connell who picks up the checkered flag here from Dover. He is able to beat the Monster Mile here this evening, as Miles the Monster claimed a few cars here today, not a lot, but man, oh man, oh man, put on an absolutely amazing show for all of us here this evening, as Jackson Connell picks up the dub, parks this 39 right up and into the Dover Motor Speedway victory lane. David Trailer, Clinton Woodby both giving congratulations there to the 39 right after a absolutely amazing run there late in this race, as Connell picks up the dub. David Trailer Jr. comes home in second. Clinton Woodby comes home in third. So here we go. Our race winner, Jackson Connell, gets to celebrate here on the front straightaway as the 39 picks up the dub. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for that 39 machine as Jackson Connell gets it done, picks up the dub, and now gets to celebrate here today in that beautiful Save 22 Vet machine this evening, man. Beautiful, beautiful paint scheme, beautiful ride, and what a run and performance from him today as he gets ready to celebrate a big win out there on the speedways. We'll get ready to pull him and the rest of our drivers, rest of our top 3 up here into the broadcast booth as Megan White says, way to go, Woodby cheer, not Woodby here this evening. Great run there late in this race for Clinton. We did see Colton Hardy work his way up and into 6th. We saw Jesse Calloway there in 7th. K-Dub Kevin Winker comes home with a top 8 run. William George, after the late race contact and spin there, the 24 battles back for a top 10 performance here this evening as well. Heck of a run there for William George. Tough break for Matt Hayden and for Keith Prince late in this race as well. Contact there for them. Early on, losing Rusty Modesty and Gregory Wood Sr. Definitely tough break for both of those drivers. Would have been fierce to see that 6 machine battle it out here this evening, but unfortunately, Not in the hunt here today, as Diane says, good job, Callaway. 7th is great. 7th is a great finish there. Great performance for Jesse Callaway here this evening as we get ready to pull our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. Let's see if we can find our race winner. There is Jackson Connell. Let's see if we can pull him up here right now for his post-race interview. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner, Jackson Connell. Hey Jackson, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Jackson, man, what a run, what a race, brother. Take us back through this one. Obviously, very fast hot rod. You qualify in that pole position. You lead the first, stage, win that first stage, and you're able to beat everyone out of pit lane. You're able to hold on to the race lead there for a few laps, and then it looked like you kind of went into saving mode right there for a little while, as we saw, obviously, the 5 ride of Matt Hayden get around you. We saw Clinton Woodby, David Traylor get around you, and then later on in that run, before that before the green flag pit stop, you're able to work yourself back around Woodby. You just weren't able to catch David Traylor or Matt Hayden there, but making that earlier pit stop, it leapfrogs you in front of that 5 ride, and then obviously the late race caution flags really mix things up. Not a great restart there for the 5 machine of Hayden. He pushed it too hard, gets into the fence there, ends up having to make another pit stop. Could not rebound here this evening, but for yourself, able to make that strategy call, come down pit road, you restart there in third, you're able to get a great jump as Colton Hardy washes up the racetrack in front of the 5 ride. You just drive it down low, take that race lead, and you never looked back ever since then. Even with the pressure from David Traylor and Clinton Woodby there late in this race, you really never made a mistake and kept that 39 ride just pointed in the right direction, focused on picking up the win here tonight in Dover, man, and you're able to capture the win here this evening, man. Take us back through what's kind of going through your mind right now as the smoke settles. You're at Dover.
Yeah, so you about nailed my race recap. It was pretty spot on. Push the first 40. I wanted those stage points. Those are going to be really, really important later in the season. The second half of the schedule isn't exactly one that suits me, so I know I have to make the most of these next few races while I'm still at good tracks for me. I got the stage points and then went into save mode, as you said. If I'd gone another couple laps, I think I could have gotten to the 54, but I had a feeling that the short pit was going to be the strategy. Seeing how the 5 he didn't fall off a lot as much as I was expecting. Um, so I just knew at that point I had to keep the 5 behind me, and yeah, just held on from there. Want to thank the Save 22 guys, the paint scheme that I'm running this week. They're a veteran suicide prevention company that we're looking to partner with for my real life stuff in 2026. So just looking to make them proud and bring them a win, which I did.
Absolutely, definitely did here this evening in great fashion as well. But take us through kind of late in this race. Obviously, with that short pit, you got about 4 lap older tires than that 5 ride of Matt Hayden. With that late race caution flag kind of coming out there around lap 128, did that kind of save you? Did you think you had enough that you were going to be able to hold off that 5 ride with him right there in your back bumper, hassling you there for probably about 20-30 laps before that final? Before those caution flags started flying here late in this race, do you think you were holding him off, or do you think it was going to be a tough call there trying to beat him here if it stayed clean and green for the rest of this race?
I think I had short pit him just enough because it wasn't more than 2 or 3 laps, I don't think. Um, but he poked out behind the 43 after he rolled up on me when I was kind of saving there. But I knew I wasn't mirror driving, but I was definitely using my rear view just to see kind of what lanes he was running and try to cut off some of the air. I don't like to mirror drive, so I figure if you're gonna catch me and you can pass me, good for you. But I'm gonna make it difficult at least. Um, I think I could have held on, but it would have been a tough call.
Yeah, it would have been a great race to see you guys duke it out there late in this one, but instead, kind of topsy-turvy, couple restarts there for the 5 ride for yourself. You're just pointing in the right direction. Keep your foot in that throttle, and you're able to hold off a lot of other fast cats here this evening. As Trailer, Woodby, Ramirez, Rose, all back there behind you. Everyone else trying to hunt you down, wanting to be up here in victory lane, but only one winner. And tonight, it's yourself, man. Another great race, another great performance for this 39 team as you park it back up here in victory lane on the season. Jackson, who else would you like to thank here for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack, capturing tonight's victory?
Well, the team that I'm working with, my little Ignite team with the 20, the 23, and the 43, we all kind of throw ideas to each other, and um, you know, the race kind of fell into my lap because of our strategy calls throughout the night. So we'll take them where we can get them for sure. A team is very strong. I think we have a championship winning team this year. So just gotta hang on and thank my mom and stepdad, my grandfather who's watching. I know they get a kick out of this. So yeah, just here to have a good time and make it happen for everybody around.
Absolutely, brother. Well, it was definitely a good time watching a Duke it out here this evening. As Jackson, congratulations on capturing tonight's Johnny Johnson 150 checkered flag here from Dover Motor Speedway, brother. We can't wait to see it back out there on the racetrack next Friday, and maybe right back up here in Victory Lane.
I plan on it. Thank you guys.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You as well.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Jackson Connell, as Connell picks up the checkered flag and pulls that 39 right up and into victory lane as we get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, the 54. It's David Trailer Jr. coming home in position number 2. Let's get him up here into the booth. Hey, David, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Data copy?
Yeah, I got you, Aaron.
David, man, another strong run, another great race here for you tonight, man. As you're able to park that 54 right up here in position number 2. Take us back through this one. Obviously, a little bit of back and forth for you, but for the most of this race, you're inside the top 3, top 4 here this evening, duking it out with Jackson Connell, with Matt Hayden, that 92 of Clinton Woodby. We saw, obviously, some battle in there between you and the 20 right of Philip Tuscano out there on the racetrack, man. Take us back through some of that action and what's going to go through your mind here as you come up just one spot shy of the checkered flag.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a pretty good race. We had some long runs, we had some short runs. I thought I was pretty decent on the long run. Maybe not the best overall speed, but definitely top 3. I was okay on the short run. Just didn't quite have enough for the 39 there with those last couple restarts. But no, it was fun. This track is really hard to save tires. It chews them up. The corners, this track might be symmetrical, but the corners are completely different. Turns 1 and 2 are kind of loose. Turns 3 and 4 are super tight. So it was fun for sure. Just trying to ride around, manage, but at the same time keep speed and not knock the wall down. But no, it was a good battle there on the last restart. I think I had about one shot to get the 39. I knew if I entered high and kind of arced the corner down, I get a huge runoff and try to get side by side, and just mistimed it just barely and was too scared to wreck him. So I let off with the fear of turning him into the wall, and that was kind of my race ending with about 5 or 6 to go.
Yeah, absolutely a tough spot there for you, trying to find that run, trying to find those lanes to make passes. And with these cars, and even with the next-gen cars, it seems like once you kind of get in behind another driver, they can just kind of arrow block you out there on the racetrack. Do you think that was a major effect there late in this race that really kept you from reeling them back in and trying to make another charge for the raceway?
Yeah, it definitely affected me. There with those last 3 laps, I had already given them everything I had, so the right front was already gone. And yeah, like you said, these cars aren't as bad as some of the other cars. They've got enough power, and the wheelbase is short enough where it's not too bad. But yeah, you get stuck behind somebody for too long, you don't get any clean air on the nose. You'll just kill the right front. You'll get tight, and you really can't go anywhere. You kind of saw that a little bit with the 39 and the 5 after the green flag pit stop. which which I botched, by the way, almost crashing. Or I did crash, but the 5 had fresher tires. He was faster, but the 39 was just fast enough. Gave him some dirty air, and it's if the guy in front of you knows what he's doing, it's super hard to pass. And yeah, nothing to take away from Jackson. He obviously is a great driver. He won the race. He knew what he was doing, and he did everything he was supposed to do.
Absolutely, as he puts himself up and in victory lane, you're able to rebound from that pit road blemish to put yourself here into position number 2, as we did get a good look at that obstacle sliding down into pit lane, making contact there with the sand barriers. Luckily enough, no harm, no foul here, as you're able to back it up with a solid second place finish here this evening. David, who would you like to thank for such a great run and another strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, first off, congrats, like I said, congrats to Jackson. He drove a great race, a great win to him. Then good job to Clinton, as well as the 92 on the podium there. And then, of course, the whole field. This is a tough track. We held it together pretty straight for the most part. I know we had a couple cautions, but that's racing. That's part of it. So shout out to really the whole field and everybody for showing up tonight. Big thank you to you for putting the broadcast on. I love going back and watching the broadcast, seeing your point of view, seeing what it looks like from the booth, and hearing your commentary on it. So we really appreciate that. Thanks to the guys that help run this league with me. I just do some race control, but thanks to Joe, Colton, and Clinton, they're the ones that kind of help put it all together. We work really great as a team there. Thanks to the sponsor on the car, QH Design. Colton and the guys over there are a great sponsor and supporters of mine. If you need any hats, shirts, vinyls, anything you can think of, reach out to Colton and the guys at QH. And then thanks to my dad for watching at home and my fiance for letting me do this.
Absolutely, brother. Well, David, heck of a run, heck of a drive here this evening, brother. Congrats on the second place finish, and hopefully next Friday we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth, maybe one spot better, and up in victory lane yourself.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there to our second place finisher, David Traylor Jr. Great run, great drive here this evening for that number 54 machine. As we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher, it's Clinton Woodby. Comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Let's get him up here into the booth as he rounds out our podium. Hey, Clinton, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Clinton, man, another strong run, another strong race here for us, man, as you're able to put on a great battle there for majority of this race, just trying to play some different strategy, working your way up there towards the front of the field a few times, making a lot of passes out there on the racetrack, and you're able to finish it off here with a third place performance, man. Take us through it and take us through some of the tight battles out there on the racetrack and how you're able to accomplish a solid third place run here today.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I don't have this track figured out. It's got a love-hate relationship with me. I like the track myself, but I either finish like I did or usually wreck out. But I tried to save tires, but I didn't feel like that was even working for me. I was letting people go, but I still couldn't catch them later on. So that was part of the reason why I stayed out as long as I could on that long run that we had. I figured if I had a little bit fresher tires after they did, maybe I could just even it out a little bit on the long run. Then, I don't know, with like 30 to go or so, we had the caution, and I think I was gaining like a second a lap. I was probably going to catch the leaders if everybody played nice and let me go, but I doubt they would have did that. But it's been interesting to see how it played out.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw you hunting them down, closing what was almost a 10-11 second gap. They were down to about 4 or 5 seconds behind our race leaders before that caution flag was thrown, and then obviously you come down pit side, you make that pit stop, and then you just kind of duke it out. It's down to pure speed. You're able to make some good moves and work yourself up into second there, and then obviously another restart. You end up losing position number 2 to David Traylor Jr., and then you have to battle with that 43 of Roberto Ramirez for this podium finish here late in the race. You're finally able to clear him. You try to hunt back down that 54 ride. Unfortunately, by the time you get to him, it seemed like maybe your car was a little burnt up there, or you just couldn't find lane to get back around the 54 to try to go after Jackson for the race win here this evening.
Yeah, at that point, I just kind of started mirror driving while trying to keep clean air on my car because I seen the 43 going up, trying to get a run off the corner, because that's really the only way you're going to pass anybody here unless they just make a mistake. But between all that and then after I gave the Goldberg spear to Matt, I didn't mean to do that, and yeah, I feel really bad for that. I don't know. It hooked really good, and then the last 5% of the corner, it wasn't there. So can't apologize to him enough for that. He's a teammate in another league, so I'm sure he owes me one now, but it's expected. But yeah, the 43, he raced me clean all race. So if he got below me, I was just going to let him go. If I couldn't hold it for the one corner, I would have just let him go, because throughout the whole race, anytime me and him got near each other, it's kind of just what we did. If somebody got a run, we just let each other go. Most of the guys I was around did not did that, so I appreciate everybody for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Some very good, hard, respectful racing out there on the racetrack here this evening. And for yourself, you back it up with a solid third-place performance, rounding out our podium here this evening. Clinton, who would you like to thank for another great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, shout out to my girlfriend Megan and Blair Peterson, Win and Bid Diecast. Go get all your NASCAR stuff from him. All my teammates, and you guys for the broadcast and the league for putting all this on.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Clinton, great run, great drive. We can't wait to see you back out there on the Speedway next Friday, and potentially right back up here and in Victory Lane.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yep, you too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the 92 of Clinton Woodby, as Woodby comes home in position number 3 here this evening, man. Great run, great drive there for that 92 machine. Unfortunately, that is going to do it for us here tonight as the Johnny Johnson 150 comes to a close with Jackson Connell out in front, picking up the checkered flag here this evening. We can't thank all of our amazing drivers for showing up and putting on a great race for us here, right from the drop of the green flag down to the checkered flag, man. Non-stop amazing racing action. And then we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, man. We appreciate each and every single one of you here today, showing the love here in the comments section with the likes, the comments, the shares, any of the new followers, any of the new subscribers. We can't thank you guys enough for becoming part of the Peacemaker family, and we can't wait to see you guys hopefully back up in the grandstands cheering on our drivers tomorrow night as the always amazing Premium Stock Car Racing League will be back in action tomorrow night for some more amazing racing here on Peacemaker Gaming, and we can't wait to see you guys up here, cheering them on, enjoying some more racing here on Peacemaker Gaming. Make sure you guys turn on those bell notifications, that way you never miss it when we go green flag here on Peacemaker. That way you never miss a single lap of action here on the channel. But can't thank you guys enough again for showing the love here today, and we'll see you guys back here in the next one. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your night.
The grips a gamble, tires squeal, hearts race. This leads to scandal. Full throttle, no brakes, chasing that checkered. Drafted lines tighter than a bank teller's ledger. Turn 4 is a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Pit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfected.